From our studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee. Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody. I'm Jeff Thee, coming to you from our fabulous studios right here at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park. My guest here today is Bob Protexter with Total Baseball Development and American Legion Baseball in the Iowa Great Lakes. Bob, first of all, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for having me. This is a fun day and a summer in January. We're going to talk about baseball. So.
You know what? That's the boys of summer. So, and it's Winter Games weekend, and that always feels like a summertime event anyway, that we have all the people back, and it's fun. So we can talk baseball right now. But first of all, let's talk about, you've got three big events going on this weekend, starting with Friday evening, I believe.
So Friday evening, we're going to have a meet and greet, but we're going to do it in the 2021 style with having it a Facebook Live event. Right. So we'll have a very few small amount of people there. It's going to be at the American Legion, Post 384 in Milford, Iowa.
Right.
Kirby Walters is the commander, so he will officiate the day.
Cool.
So I'll be there to talk about American Legion Baseball. It was going to be a meet and greet, so now it's going to be a Facebook Live event. So you can watch us talk to the crowd or the few amount of Legionnaires or whoever might be able to come in and with limited capacity there. So also guests will be Bill Krejci. So Bill is a Chicago native, coached for years in Iowa at Southwestern Community College in the late 90s, mid-90s, late 90s. He started to work with USA Baseball and Team USA. So he's done it all with USA Baseball, Team USA. He's coached for Joe Mauer, all the locals' favorite. So J.J. Hardy is a former player of his with Team USA, and of course Bryce Harper.
Okay.
So he brings a wealth of experience and has traveled the world. And I took him to Russia one year, so we have some international experiences together.
That's pretty cool. Now, what's the Facebook page that we'll be going to watch us live then, Bob?
So Total Baseball Development Iowa.
Okay, very good.
So, and Zach Grafster will also be there.
Oh, wow.
Zach Grafster works with Major League Baseball in their international initiatives. Is from St. Louis, currently lives in Minneapolis, so it was a close drive for him. We're going to have a lot of fun. And both of those guys will talk about maybe not so much American Legion Baseball, but the benefits of extra baseball. Both of them have ties to Zach played American Legion Baseball, and Coach Krejci is well aware of the benefit of extra baseball and American Legion Baseball. So
wonderful. So, and then on Saturday, you've got another event, and that's going to be at the Pearson Lakes Arts Center. Yeah,
so Bob Kirschbaum is the executive director of the center, which is a nice tie-in. So Bob was a baseball player at Morningside College.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
known Bob for years.
Now you do. He's might not. If you look at his pictures in his office, you'll see a picture of him. A nice tie-in there that I've known Bob since I was about 7 because my dad recruited him to Morningside.
My gosh.
So when I came back up here, made a point to find him, and we started talking. So he was encouraging of the event. So we're going to host a hot stove conversation, for lack of better terms. My official title is about 20 words long. So it's a hot stove conversation. We're going to have 5 speakers. It's at the Lordison Performing Arts Theater,
right?
Which is amazing. They have a full-size movie screen.
Oh yeah.
We're going to utilize the stage for the speakers, and then pictures and videos from around the world with our speakers.
So, but this isn't virtual. People can attend this one.
So this is a live event. So in talking with Mr. Kirschbaum, we talked about the capacity, which is about 300. But the capacity for the event in our day and age we live in right now is going to be about 60.
Right.
So we'll cap the attendance at 60. It's a free event. We'll pass the hat like at a baseball game, but it's a nice free event you come to. Something to be indoors with if you don't want to be outdoors for 24/7 during the winter games.
Right.
And it's for baseball people and people that like travel.
Okay.
So it's also in the vein of a travelogue series. Sioux City had an event called the 900 Club.
Okay.
And the 900 Club was from the 50s till the early middle 2000s was a travelogue series. So I remember vividly when I was growing up, people dressed to the nines. They went to Epley Auditorium. You paid an admission fee. you sat down and a man in a three-piece suit talked about his travels to Switzerland and pointed on the big screen about that.
Okay.
So we're going to have Zach Grafster talk about his travels through Europe. Bill Krejci talk about his travels with USA Baseball and how USA Baseball impacts the world of baseball and baseball in the United States. Megan Flynn is a national artist who just happens to be from Hartley. 2013, she created a collection, a hand-painted collection of baseball cards, about 25 cards in total.
Wow.
Including Hank Aaron, who just passed away.
Right.
But there,
I think I saw Roger Maris on that list as well. And,
Sandy Koufax.
Sandy Koufax is the other
Don
one.
Drysdale.
Yeah.
So, but they're not like a painting. They're life-size, card size. What is it, 3.5 by 2.5 or something like that? So she's going to bring her collection. So we're at an art center. Okay. So she's going to lead the speakers talking about art in the art center, about baseball, at a baseball event.
Man.
And then she's going to hand it off to Brandon Edmonds, who owns Spencer Sports Cards in Spencer, Iowa.
Sure.
Right on Grand. It's an awesome place. It's a little bit of a dying breed, or a lot of a dying breed, but they say it's coming back now.
Okay.
People spend a lot of time at home this year.
Everything comes back around. Have you ever noticed that? So is he going to have memorabilia there?
Well, what we asked him to do was talk about his travels. So Megan's been all over the United States.
Right. Okay.
And how it brings you back to Iowa. So Megan's going to talk about her travels. Brandon's going to talk about his travels to card shows all throughout the United States, and what it involves and what his store does. But also, he's going to do his best. He and Megan have been communicating. He's going to do his best to match up every card that she has in her collection to everything that he can bring to match it up. And it's going to be a neat thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
if they got the original bubblegum sticks that came in that, then you really
I bought a pack from him, from 1990 pack from him just last week. I tried the bubblegum.
Yes.
Not so good. Actually really, really bad after 30 years.
I recall from being a kid, you always put the bubblegum in and you're like, okay, let's get to the cards.
Yeah, it wasn't ever very good, but 30 years of sitting in a wax plastic it didn't last very long.
Didn't enhance the taste, no.
I'm going to speak briefly about my travels. So I've spent last 30 years being involved with baseball in Russia. Lived in the Soviet Union, 1990-91.
At the very end of the Soviet Union then.
I was witness to coup d'etat and a constitutional crisis, we'll say.
Yeah, when Gorbachev was ousted and took Yeltsin.
Yeah, Gorbachev was sick.
Yeah.
In Sochi.
He was sent away and sick. Yeah.
Yes, and all of a sudden 8 guys took his place. Yeah. So I was living with our center fielder at the time when we had just returned from a trip to Italy, and he was beside himself listening to the radio that morning. So we had a doubleheader with Vladivostok that afternoon, and I'm coaching first base, and the ground is shaking because the tanks are coming from outside of Moscow into Red Square.
Wow.
So
incredible.
Yeah, so I'll tell a few of those stories.
Yeah.
I have to be capped, so I on purpose put myself in the middle, so I know I don't have a lot of time, because I've done some speaking engagements of an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And
it'd be interesting to listen to the whole thing.
I didn't want to bore people with my story, so I'm going to introduce Zach Grafster. So Zach and I spent time last year in 2019 in Regensburg, Germany, with the Major League Baseball cadet camp. That was 50 of the best 15 and under players in Europe.
Wow.
A couple of them since have signed contracts. There's a few contracts in the works. So this last summer, the hope was to be in London for the London series with the Cardinals and the Cubs, who were supposed to play in London.
Right.
So around that, there's a circus-like atmosphere, like a fair and an all-star festival and a Super Bowl type atmosphere where they have events throughout the whole week. There's only 2 Major League Baseball games. The first year was the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Okay.
But there's a whole week full of events. One of them, they invited 90 top players from Europe to those events.
Okay.
10 signed contracts. So with my work with Russian baseball, the ambition was to send a lot this last summer. And as you know, and everybody knows, and everybody watching, the world canceled itself out last year.
Right.
The cancel culture, the world got canceled.
Yeah.
So everything stopped. So Zach wasn't able to travel like he was last year. All the USA Baseball events for Coach Krejci, But so we spent time in Regensburg, Germany, which was amazing, with these 50 kids for a week. And The Russian kid that we brought actually was pitcher of the camp. That was nice. We had 4 Russians. I'll get you a picture of that with kids.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So then the last speaker will be Bill Krejci.
Okay.
Talk about his life with in baseball, his life with USA Baseball. A little bit maybe about our trip to Russia in 2014, where he says it's one of the best trips of his life internationally, and that's saying a lot. They took real good care of him. Media isn't always the friend to Russia, and
Right.
Between the White House and the Kremlin, there's one leader of each country, but the rest of us, millions and millions and millions of people, we seem to get along. And,
Right.
and it's a fun place. He enjoyed it, so we're going to have fun on Saturday
And
with
sports
that.
gives that atmosphere of being able to get along. You're
Yes.
not there for politics. You're not there for whatever. We're here to play ball,
Yeah.
and we love playing ball.
I can take the mystery out of why I liked it there is just they had baseball, and there was 90 feet between the bases.
Yeah.
You're at home. You travel across the world, you show up at a dugout, and you're back at home.
You're right back at home. Yeah.
So-
Well, wonderful. And that starts again at what time on
So that's going to
Saturday?
be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Okay.
at the Pearson Lakes Art Center inside of the Lordison Arts Performing Arts Theater.
Right.
And,
And first 60 that get there because of social
first
distancing.
come, first sure. We'll say first 60.
Okay.
60 in a house of 300. So.
Okay. And then on Sunday, you've got something, correct?
Saturday, following that event,
Saturday, okay.
from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we're going to have a Wiffle Ball tournament.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Wiffle
So
ball.
Dr. Tim Blankers and the City of Arnold's Park has been amazing in suggestions, ideas, how we can more utilize the Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah.
It's gone through renovations, so it makes something nice. It should be used.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what do they say? If you build it,
They will
come.
Yeah.
So we're going to be at Wildcat Stadium in Arnold's Park. It's right behind the old Mrs. Ladies,
Yep.
La Barca.
Yeah.
Right next to the cemetery. A lot of people have driven it past it 1,000 times, and they still ask me where it's at.
Exactly. Don't know it's there.
So, and there's going to be in the F45 parking lot next door. We'll have a food truck
Okay.
from Double M Concessions out of Emmitsburg. They do great stuff. So we're going to have food, porta potties, of course.
Yeah.
Concessions, some hot chocolate, and wiffle ball for
Perfect.
3 hours. So
Perfect.
second grade through 12th grade and an adult division. And I think people might be a little hesitant with the snow and plastic bats, but we're going to make it work.
It's supposed to be nice on Saturday. I mean,
That's-
nice for January,
yeah,
like
whoever-
37, 38 degrees.
Whoever's in charge of Winter Games, I think they've been making some calls about the weather, and I see this week that Saturday is going to be the nicest day. So
When I was involved, we had a wonderful lady who was here at the time, Georgia Shealy. She was in charge of the prayer committee for Winter Games weather. So I think she's still working from upstairs
good.
on that stuff.
That's good. Somebody's overlooking
Someone's
this
overseeing
process.
the whole darn thing. I love it.
That's great.
Now, quickly, just about American Legion baseball you're bringing here this summer. How's it going to be set up? Where are you going to play? Who's going to be playing? And some point, I want you to come in and talk about the season in depth.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great. So American Legion Baseball started in 1925. The Legion itself in 1919, American Legion Baseball 1925, and it's an American institution.
Right.
I began running my own programs in Sioux City in 2004, 2005, and I saw it as an avenue to have kids play extra baseball in the spring before the high school season.
Right.
We ran a team out of Sioux City, out of Post 64, called the Sioux City Bancrofts, named after Dave Bancroft, Sioux City's only Hall of Fame member.
All right.
2010, 11, and 12, and it was a great time. We qualified for the state tournament all 3 years for American Legion Baseball. Ryan Brasser, who is a teacher over in West Lyon, attended Northwestern College, played baseball there. He was American Legion Player of the Year, one of those years for us, the first year.
Right.
So there's opportunities for scholarships, but to the baseball point of it, up here, we continued to add programs up here in our fall league, and I just sat down one day and was like, wow, we should have a team up here.
Yeah.
So the process is you have to have a sponsor, not a financial sponsor, but a Legion Post sponsor.
Okay.
So Post 384, Kirby Walters, and Tom Ahrens, and Steve Anderson, and all the Post members, Harlan. I got to say hi to Harlan, so he knows we're thinking about him. He had knee surgery, so
Okay.
they've been really receptive to the idea. and so our outreach is our recruiting area is our outreach, meaning that so we're going to have tryouts in February.
Okay.
We're going to
where do you do that at?
So we're working on Spencer and Milford.
Okay.
And there's a little competition for court time and indoor time. So baseball is really not meant to play in a small basketball court.
Right.
So we're going to make it work, but a lot of Sunday events are scheduled. So
okay.
we're finalizing the schedule now. Hopefully it'll be done by Friday so we can talk about that.
Right.
But it's going to be at the end of February and a couple Sundays.
Okay.
And the kids will come from our recruiting area is 25 high schools. So you play for the school closest to you.
Okay.
And in doing that in Sioux City in 2010, 11, 12, I saw the value. And I saw the kids enjoyed it. I saw how the parents enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I also saw how the high school coaches enjoyed it and how the players valued the aspect of us playing a competitive season,
right,
March and April, to walk into the first day of high school practice on May 1, or this year, May 3rd, with 20 games under their belt.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge competitive advantage for the kids. And while everybody's playing catch-up, they're all ready for their first game.
They're enhancing their skills.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's, I always say that Okoboji was always built on why not and what if. Let's try this. And so this fits right into that grind right there.
Yeah, so Iowa is the only state. Everybody in Iowa knows that we have summer high school baseball.
Yeah.
What a lot of people in Iowa don't know is we're the only state in the country that has summer high school baseball. So we were the only state that completed a season last year during COVID. With the state tournament, and it was kind of a experimental guinea pig for the nation to watch how we did it.
Yeah,
they did a great thing. We're going to follow whatever recommendations that the Iowa High School Athletic Association and baseball put forth last summer. So our season is in March and April.
Yeah.
Tryouts in February, season in March and April. If you're watching this, keep posted to our website for tryout information. And more than anything, we want fans.
Yeah,
we're limited to 18 players. But they're not limiting how many fans we can have for our team. Okay. So we're going to hope for a lot of people coming out to our games, which will take place, in the immediate Lakes area. We're going to do some events with Post 384. Okay. The Lake Park Post is also a supporter. The Spirit Lake Post is also a supporter. Okay. And the Esterville Post is going to support us as well.
That's great.
So we're going to do a few fundraisers and cool events and some neat photographs and have a lot of fun. So we can match up the 1938 photograph in the Post 384 Legion Hall of their baseball team back then.
How sweet. And again, the website and the Facebook, is it American Legion Baseball, or what's the website if people want to?
So the website I have for our baseball programs overall is Total Baseball Development.
Okay, Total Baseball Development.
So, and the Facebook is Total Baseball Development Iowa.
Okay.
And if you're a Twitter person, at TBD, like Total Baseball Development, at TBD Okoboji is where you can follow us on Twitter.
Wonderful. Bob, thank you for taking time with me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Pleasure indeed. Bob Protexter here with us today, and we look forward to the events going on this weekend for Winter Games. Spring baseball coming to the Iowa Great Lakes, everybody. We thank Bob for taking time with us. We thank you, as always, for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you by the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Pure Fishing in Spirit Lake, Last Touch Painting and Cleaning providing interior, exterior, house painting and professional cleaning services in Spirit Lake, Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Attorney Bethany Brands at Brands Law Office in Spirit Lake. Ruthven Locker at the lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji. The YMCA of the Okobojis is the Bedell Family YMCA, building strong families and strong communities.